Hello my friends, it's Cody, and welcome to another Dark Souls challenge run. My last run of beating the game without moving the camera was fun, so today I'm going to take on something a little bit more complicated. So, as you may know, or maybe not, miracles are a type of spell in Dark Souls that completely rely on the faith stat to not only increase damage, but to be able to even use them. So I figured I'd hate myself today, because why just do a miracles only run for a video when I could try something impossible and attempt at Faithless? Yeah, well, somehow I keep making the worst decisions possible, because today, that's exactly what I'd like to show you. Well, since I'm doing a run, should probably have some rules, huh? So if it wasn't obvious, I can only use miracles to damage enemies, I must do it without ever leveling faith, and while it may be a given, I do need to beat the game. Yeah. Now since I have some rules, I should also talk stakes. No, not that kind. This time around, if I fail to complete the run, I'll be maced with pepper spray in a penalty video. I'd rather not, so I'm gonna give it my all to figure this thing out. Hopefully. Now after doing some research, I feel like this run will be a nightmare, and that I'm in for quite the struggle with the lack of available spells and very janky hitboxes that I also love Dark Souls 1 for, and in no way makes me want to cry later. Yeah, I clearly still have too much free time on my hands, so if you enjoy watching the video, or simply like me, please consider subscribing so I can keep torturing myself with these runs. Now then, let the chaos begin. I start the game off with my man Rick here, who has obviously been completely abandoned by any gods, judging by that hairline, and pick the bandit class, which may seem odd at first. While some of the other classes have an even lower starting faith, I unfortunately do need at least 10 to be able to even use any of the talismans that are available at the beginning of the game. So yeah. Now after crafting my ungodly hero, I head out of my timeout corner and head to a silent demon, who at first glance is a complete joke. But he already gives me my first challenge of the run. Having literally just started the run, with no miracles and nowhere to go, I guess I fail. Run's over. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just getting started with the trickery. So those of you more perceptive probably already noticed I picked the black fire bombs as my starting gift. That wasn't an accident. Now I hear you and what you're saying, but Cody, that isn't a miracle. To which I say, yeah, it's not. But what if I don't technically defeat the Asylum Demon, and instead just make him hand over the goods? Well, let me introduce you to a Silent Demon skip. Essentially what I'm doing is causing the game to register me as beating him, without actually beating him.
No, Holly.
Is this a technicality? Maybe. But being technically correct is the most passive-aggressive form of correct. This lets me nab the big pilgrim scream when I talk to Oscar, letting me out of the asylum, where I run past, and have a staring contest with Mr. Big Cheeks from the other side of the door. Later, bud. I have a run to do. I then approach the ledge before being kidnapped by a very overly large bird, until I rudely get dropped off into Firelink, and begin my adventure proper into Lordran. I start off searching the area, and do the old song and dance of picking up all the shiny, before I decide to head down to the catacombs for my first real pickup. The locals don't take too kindly to this, however, and I receive a surprise boning from Larry, Lewis, and Lonnie, which leaves me very, very dead. So I head back, this time without incident, and subsequently yeet myself off this cliff to skip most of the area with only a slightly broken spine. Next, I try picking up some Eyes of Death from behind this big fella, before I decide to take a relaxing nap inside a coffin to hopefully realign my spine. Which doesn't make a lot of sense when I think about it. Wait, what was that? Well, after being kidnapped again, I wake up near Big Brother coffin, where I beg for my reward from Nito so I can actually do damage this run. Please. Ah, finally. And with that, the run seems quite doable, right? I mean, it could do damage, so yeah, should be easy now.
shouldn't have said that.
Well, I head over to Undead Bird, running past everything because, well, I'm doing a challenge run, and let's see what this thing can do. Come here, Tori.
I should not have said that.
Yeah, this is my first time fighting enemies with the spell, and I'm already a bit worried for the rest of the run. Not only is the damage very lackluster, but that 40 cast shown is incredibly deceptive. While the spell does have 40 cast, each one of the blades that come out of the ground consumes a charge. And since there are 20 blades, I essentially only have 2 casts before I'm out.
Oh my god, what have I got myself into?
And I have no way to finish off Tori here with my spells. But doesn't mean I'm done yet. Luckily, just like his big bonk sticky carries suggest, Tori isn't particularly intelligent, and with some good positioning and a bit of luck, I can let gravity do my work for me. And with him out of the way, I make my way to the Garys next. I'm hoping that since there are 2 of them, that maybe I can make up the difference in my lackluster DPS by hitting both of them. After all, how bad can they be? Well, that was wishful thinking. So I've already ran into another problem. I don't have many spells. And Gary was so disappointed, he wouldn't even let his brother join us. That's really inconvenient, you know. Not polite at all, Gary. Well, I guess back to the drawing board. So after I make a quick exit, and with no other real options I can think of, it's time to grind. I'm absolutely terrified at how early this came up, because holy crap, we just started. It's starting to sink in just how much of a hole I dug with this run. But for now, I do the most healthy thing I can, and cope by just shoving it to the back of my mind, as that's a future coding problem. Yeah, that seems healthy. So, for those of you not aware, for each rank you gain in the Gravelord Covenant, you gain a 10% stackable boost to all of Gravelord spells, maxing out at 30% at +3. Not only that, but I also gain a bigger and stronger version of the spell too after ranking up the first time, effectively doubling my spells I can work with. And I very much need both. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a problem. To reach that max level and get that big boost, I'm gonna need 80 Eyes of Death. And at the moment, there isn't a good way of obtaining these. Well, not without grinding Basilisk in the Great Hollow for the next dozen or so hours. But I still have a family and full-time job, so no, that's not happening. Instead, I'm gonna save some time and a very small portion of my sanity by doing something creative and a little morally questionable. So, first things first. I head over to Andre's in Undead Parish and get some wood.
Oi!
Hey there, it's Cody from the edit here. So I originally planned and scripted what I was doing here, going into detailing the process of how I duped the game into giving me souls, item duping, yada yada. But that's all very boring, so I'll just skip that. Instead, while I have your attention, I just wanted to remind you that if this fills up your alley, then you can watch more utterly ridiculous challenges like this one, and be notified immediately when they go up by subscribing to the channel here, and turning on notifications. Look, Andre's already smashing it. Now where was I? Alright, I now have 99 Eyes of Death thanks to tricking the game, which means I can now max out the Covenant. So I make my way back down to Nido to do just that and collect my reward. I just hope it's enough to make a difference. So, back to the Garys. Yeah, it's bigger and better. Never heard that before. But I have more than enough firepower to spawn Gary's other brother, Gary. Weird family, I know. Now, I may have gotten a little cocky and missed, but progress is progress. So I make my way back again and miss. Again. Painfully close that time too. But on my next attempt, I decided to change up my strategy and try luring both to the tower. I'm thinking that maybe if there's a smaller space, then I won't miss. And yeah, worked like a charm. Still came down to the wire though, as I'm completely out of cast. Sure hope that does become a common theme this run. Well, at least with the Gary's dead, and the bell rung, I finally get a chance to chat with the fellow sinner. What's up, Ozzy?
No, dearest. 'Twill I feel.
Hey, he gets it. I then immediately purchased one of the most important pieces of gear this run, the Velka Talisman. For those of you who have never used it, or given it a second glance, this talisman is a bit strange, and not only because it's a tuft of hair from someone. It's the only talisman in the entire game that doesn't scale with faith, but intelligence instead. Normally, it's completely overlooked since faith scales better and also affects which miracles you can use, but for me, it's basically the only way I have a chance at completing this run, and why I pushed so hard to get past the Garys. I do need a few levels to meet the stat requirements to use it first though, so I kindly asked Drake for help getting the required souls before testing out the damage. Damn it. I said, test out the damage. I said, test out the damage. Ah, much better. Well, since I took care of things topside, time to start my descent into the inappropriate, with the first stop being Capra. And he's horny. Anyways, with this close quarters, I thought I'd have an easy time here and I have no trouble getting rid of the dogs while also hitting Capra. But I forgot that this is a front stop game. So not only are dogs the second deadliest thing in the game, but I have enough time to start casting, lay down my controller, watch a detailed Vati lore video about Elden Ring's new DLC, and make it back in time just for it to finish casting. Yeah, needless to say it's painfully slow. But that just means that if I want to beat them, then I just need the most deadly thing in a FromSoft game, gravity. I head up the stairs first and wait for them to join me before dropping off the ledge. When Capra and his Much also drop down, they stagger for a few seconds, letting me get off a cast, and then I don't pray to the gods, because that's not allowed, that they stay put long enough for me to finish. Whew, dog's down. Just gotta keep Capra on the stairs now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes! Alright, that took a while, but Capra down. Now just to get out of here and... oh dear. Before gaping in the depths, which sounds so bad out of context, I decided to drop back by the catacombs to pay Uncle Penny a visit for some easy souls. I mean, he's not exactly known for being tough, but yeah, I think I might be in trouble. But if I just keep my head for a second, I might be able to come up with something. Oh yeah, I never picked up the red tearstone ring. Well, I'm just gonna stand here and think about my life choices. I quickly run through Darkroot Basin to Valley of Drakes next, and don't mind me boys, just coming through. Perfect. Now just wish me luck getting out of here. Well, that went surprisingly smooth.
Shit.
Well, while I'm in the area still, might as well grab another upgrade. So I head down into Blighttown and find out how much of a sword swallower Mildred is. Oh, is that why she's called Maneater? Anyways, make my way past all the deformed monstrosities as I climb up the ladders before taking care of whatever this is and retrieve my prize, Power Within. Just need a flame now. Luckily, since I already have access to the depths, I make my way back and free Laurentius from his Donkey Kong inspired jail before catching him back in Firelink to get my free To get my free flame. That is a tongue twister and a half. And with all this, surely I can take out Penny this time. Well, that's embarrassing. You know what? Screw you, Penny. No mass pickup. Pettiness aside, I'm feeling good. Gaping shouldn't be a problem now, right? Yeah, okay. But even when I do manage to hit him, that's just not happening. However, even with all the running around, I haven't really worked on the leveling side of things. And souls and levels are kind of important in this game, huh? Should probably work on that. So, I head over to Darkroot Garden to slice up something a bit less tanky, Moonlight Butterfly. Who flies. Okay, maybe not my best choice, but eh. I then use its souls to purchase the Crest of Artorias from Andre and pay the forest hunters a visit, who are a little overly excited to see me. Guys, calm down. I'm already taken. Doesn't mean you have to throw yourself off a cliff. Anyways, after rejecting the horde of booty bandits, I finished up leveling, and so far I've really only put points into intelligence and vitality. And yeah, that's pretty much how it's gonna go for the rest of the run. As I listen to some relaxing elevator music as I make my way back down to Blighttown to continue on, I can't quite shake the feeling that I'm forgetting something. What was I doing again? Oh yeah, I'm fighting Quelaag now, and she is brutal. So remember when I said casting the spell was slow with the dogs? Yeah, that's still a thing. It's not that she's overly fast though. It's just more that most of her spider attacks are just quick enough that I have trouble getting a cast off without being burned to a crisp. Oh, and the lava. Yeah. And due to her healthy health bar, I definitely need the extra damage boost from the red Tearstone ring, while also being on a timer due to Power Within's HP drain. And did I forget to mention that I have to run back getting poisoned every time I die? Yeah, it's a bit annoying. You know what? Instead of me being boring and describing how the fight plays out, I figured a montage of my suffering and many failed attempts would be much more entertaining. So cheers! Alright, it might have ended in a draw and been pure luck, but a win's still a win in Dark Souls books. I'll take what it gives me. With Quelaag finally down though, and the second bell rung, it's sin time. Don't really know what I was expecting of this place, but really don't need anything here, so I just clear it as per usual. Only thing of real note is I set some strange old man free as I go.
So that I may impart my soul so.
Sir, I kindly ask you to leave. This ain't the run for that. Next up on the menu of possible problems is the healthy boy Iron Golem. I was a tad worried to say the least, but well, just watch. Oh, okay then. Didn't mean to bully you there, bud. Not complaining in the slightest, though. But, yeah, that was just a really big surprise in quick area. I'm gonna miss that. I touch the shiny next, and yet again get kidnapped. Can I just say how weird it is that anywhere important I need to go, I get abducted? Just me? Oh, okay. But, with me arriving in Honor Londo, I can now acquire my next pretty decent piece of gear I can get from Dark Moon Tomb, the Ring of the Sun's Firstborn. This ring increases any and all miracle damage by 20% and pleases my smooth brain with the good old big numbers get bigger. And probably just in time, because I know Ornstein and Smo are next. But first, time for a quick visit. Hello, Lortrick. Goodbye, Lortrick. Just feels nice. Time to ruin my mood. So yep, ONS present quite a few problems for me now, not least of which is the amount of health they have. See, if the damage either of them received carried over for phase 2, then this fight would be a cakewalk, as I often end up hitting both of them by pure accident just because of how much they like to move while I attempt to cast. Unfortunately, whenever one of them dies, the other regains their health along with a bit of a boost for phase 2. Add in Ornstein's speed, my lack of reliability hitting with the spells, the chaotic nature of the fight normally, and it makes for what I'd like to think is a reasonably fun challenge. But I'm sure my suffering makes you smile. Name of the game after all, you bastards. So I try a bunch of strategies, ranging from good old spray and pray to a more brute force method using the red tearstone ring, each with varying degrees of success. But when I can't move and get locked into a lengthy animation, and any hit means I'm knocked into oblivion, you can probably guess about how well that went. I keep bashing my head, fist, and many more pinches at them for a while, still hoping to brute force the problem. But after about a day or so, nothing was coming slightly close to toppling them. So I started checking my footage, and I noticed something. If I had even one more cast for Smo, I might be able to take him down. But right now Ornstein is ruining things as it's taking 2, making me come up short. So if my main problem is damage, I'm gonna need a serious upgrade in firepower. And it was at this point that I remembered I'm fucking stupid, as I still have another way of significantly boosting my damage. But it would mean I'd have to run all the way back through Arnolondo, Sins, and into Darkroot Basin for it. But after getting railed by these two for the last couple hours, I'm in an extreme need for a break anyways. So I make the trip back, stopping by the Booty Bandits for a few more levels before I take on the Hydra. And the first thing I notice is that the hitboxes are weird. Sometimes I can see the spell go right through its head, but it doesn't connect. Thanks, Dark Souls. Also, fuck these golems. As if my casting speed wasn't slow enough, now you're interrupting me? Bastards. But after far more attempts than I care to admit, I find my rhythm eventually, where I start casting right as she roars, giving me just enough time to get my cast off. Granted, I don't get some head, which nets me some extra damage from instability frames. And I'm rewarded with the Dust Crown Ring, a ring that increases my amount of spells by 50% at the cost of half my health. Could be useful later. But right now what I want is still hidden away inside this golden boy, Miss Dusk herself. I just have to hope I don't accidentally kill her. On a serious note, I'm not joking when I say the run is literally riding on this. If she dies here, then that's it. Game over. So careful. Careful. Whew. Wasn't even worried. Girl, you have no idea how happy I am to see you right now. My queen. My light in the darkness. Hey, wait, where are you going? It's the hair, isn't it? Oh well, I just wanted your crown anyways, so I guess we're even. And here it is, the thing that will hopefully carry me and save the run. Yeah, this right here. Looking lovely, I know. This is a helmet that when worn, increases magic damage by 30% at the cost of increasing magic damage received by 30%. But I'm more than willing to make that deal. Now with my damage significantly boosted thanks to this, and Dust Ring giving me another way to increase my amount of spells I have, ONS should be a piece of cake, right? Why is the music getting intense? Finally. That was a lot of work. I'm so glad that they are the final boss and that the run's finally over. I'm done now, right? Right? As I come to terms with my existential crisis, I make a quick visit to this big lady here, who gives the vampire chick from Resident Evil a run for her money, if you know what I mean, and complete my quest of acquiring the Lord Vessel, only to receive yet another quest, this time to kill a literal god now? Not that my forsaken hero has any qualms, of course, so I'm more than happy to oblige. But I want to finish up a few things in no particular order first, so I head back to Firelink and get kidnapped. Again. Mr. Bake Cakes is still the king of staring contest, but it doesn't help him much when I can just make him very, very dead. But hey, maybe his brother Stray could do a bit better, so I drop in and also say hi. Nope. Very dead. Don't really know what I expected there. Well, just let me grab what I came here for, and I head back to Honor Londo once again, make my way to this suspiciously large painting, only to remind me why I probably shouldn't touch everything. But the locals don't seem too friendly. Let's just make a run for it, shall we? Ooh, what's this? Oh yeah. As soon as I get out of here, I'm putting on these bad boys. After I wash them, of course. Hey, can you tell me which way to get out of here?
Plunge down from the plank and hurry home.
Oh, thanks. Don't mind me. Just gonna... Okay, I'll just let myself off then. Once back in Arna Orlando, I dropped by the Giant to give my new clothes a wash and check it out. Shiny. Next, I head over to Firelink to place the giant church offering bowl on its altar, which seems a little on the nose given the nature of the run. But with the pearly gates gone, I figured I might as well take the plunge into what would likely be the most technical part of the run. First up, Ceaseless. Yeah, that might be a problem. I try again just to double check, and yeah, that's not a fluke. For whatever reason, his arm doesn't like to count as a hitbox. But I'm still dumb and stubborn, and just want to be sure, so I keep trying a dozen or so more times, getting absolutely nowhere as they keep missing. So what do? Well, like for most guys, he'll go down pretty easily if you know where to hit him. So I target his little thing over here, sorry bud, and boom, down he goes. Literally. Next, I make my way to Fire Sage, running into Kirk again, and, well, that was a quick visit. Catch you later, bud. Fire Sage, on the other hand, was, well, quite frankly, I don't know why he was hard. He has the exact same moveset as the Stray Demon, and yet for some reason I'm having the damnedest time finishing him off. I'm getting blasted, flattened, and booty pounded over and over. It's not as good at a time as it sounds, though. I keep going for a few dozen or so times, dying to him over and over, until I get an amazing start that lets me destroy half his health bar with one hit due to the instability bonus, and I get to finish off as any man could dream of. Now, significantly less dreamy is having a wiggler that looks like that. So, let's just take care of that real quick, alright? I figured it would be a challenge, what with his usually very springy moveset. But this spell is really effective against him. He's so large that even if he jumps around or is standing in the lava, I still reach him. Yeah, it almost feels wrong being able to first try him while doing something like this. I was so shocked, in fact, that this happened. Yeah, big dumb. Moving on. After I remember to equip the orange charred ring this time, I head into Lost Isolith, where Kirk stops again for his last visit. And I flip him like a pancake in the most literal sense, while also accidentally getting Pyrosis in the crossfire. Moving through the fog gate, And I'm on my first Lord Soul, Bed of Chaos. And do I really need to say anything? There's not much of a challenge here. I just give her the old one-shot treatment, and we'll be on our way. Next, I head over to Duke's Archives, and hey Seath, how's it going? This is why nobody likes you. And I get kidnapped again. Seriously, does everything in this game happen because, oh, what's that? But I quickly make my way down, grab the key, take care of Miyazaki's hentai dream team, run past everything because, well, they just want to shoot at me, and then have the living shit scared out of me when I find out this fun little fact. That even when you rest at a bonfire, apparently mimics don't reset. Well, after that near heart attack, I head back down the tower real quick to pick up the Firekeeper's soul from the prison, and Logan tries to pawn off his disgusting sorceries yet again. Yeah, let him know what's up, ladies. After upgrading my flask, I head to the Crystal Cave to face Seath. Just like Ceaseless, despite Seath's large, legs, the game just doesn't want to hit him half the time. And with his wide range attacks, if I mistime my cast, I'm immediately dead. So that's nice. Thank goodness I'm not slow or anything. My first thought was to use Duskspring to increase my cast, but even with the extra cast, I still don't have enough to be able to finish him. Close, but yeah. So that means I have to take the much more painful route, being in red Tearstone range for the extra damage. And then just hope he doesn't use his Kamehameha, hey fuck you, Curse Bomb. Oh fuck. Before I can tackle the Four Kings, I need to stop by in Darkroot Gardens to take care of my least favorite fight in the game. Miyazaki, can I just ask why? I mean, just look at the good girl. This is the only time in the game I actually feel like I really am a faithless heretic, you damn bastard. As for the fight, Seath really isn't too bad. Despite her speed, I just stick underneath her and give her belly rubs. Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright, moving on before we all start crying. Time to see if this ring was worth it. And I already knew going into the run that the Four Kings was going to be the problem of the run. So I've prepped most of the run for them alone. Grabbing Smo's armor to increase my defense, optimizing my damage, and my strategy with me trying to get as many kings on screen at once to try and hit them all at the same time. And let me tell you, forget all that. There is absolutely no way I can manage to take them down right now. So yeah, I'm just gonna move into something a little bit more manageable for now. I wanted to pick up the Sanctus from Leroy before heading into the DLC for its HP recovery to offset Power Within's HP drain. So I make a quick stop. And I mean a very quick stop. But I suppose that's what you get for putting your faith in the gods, huh, nerd? Finally, I grab the pendant in Duke's and head to the DLC portal before I get... Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Alright, the DLC. It's about time I get to enjoy some of my favorite bosses. Oh yeah, Sanctuary Garden. I usually just steamroll you, so sorry bud. Oh dear. So, one thing to note, all DLC bosses are quick, hit like a truck, and have pretty decent health bars, with the Guardian being the weakest of the bunch. But I should be able to manage though. I mean, after all, Guardian's not too bad. Just one more shot and... I really should think about my life choices. Yeah, so due to the beefed up health bars for the DLC I was talking about, I'm now pretty much locked into being in red Tearstone range to have the DPS needed to keep up, meaning I'm a glass cannon with the slow casting speed. And hold up there, I already hear all of you jumping down to the comment section saying that, hey, if you level up dexterity, you can cast quicker. Well, I have some bad news. I I already checked into this, and the wiki and testing confirm that no matter how high my dex is, it will not increase the speed of this spell in any way. But then again, forget all what I just said, because holy crap is that a lot of damage. While wildly unreliable, instability damage is ridiculous when it happens, ain't it? Now then, next up is Artie. What? Why is the Doom music going? Well, that was single-handedly the hardest fight of the run. It actually took me a few days to tackle him, and no, I'm not mad about all that running to him just to die as I entered the arena. I'm just gonna take a little break before continuing with the soul crushing though. While running back in between the many attempts of Artorias, I did some checking, and there is absolutely nothing of note that the other covenants can offer me. So I am free to take care of Nito finally. And that's what I do. Larry, Lewis, and Lonnie are annoying as usual, but nothing a little friendly fire won't help with. Thank you, Nito. My faith is restored. Wait a second. While I'm down here, I also pick up the Dark Moon Seance Ring to tackle Gwendolyn next, who likes to warp away before I can even get a cast off. Great. So I guess that means I gotta try something different. Fun fact, if you didn't know, the hallway can actually end. It only takes about 8 minutes of running after him. Just give me a sec, bud. Alright, I don't even feel bad about this now.
An eternal curse upon thee.
Bud, have you seen this hairline? How much worse could it get? Alright. Manus, the big daddy of humanity and father of the abyss. A boss that I cannot trade with, has an erratic moveset, and did I mention how slow I cast? Oh, I'm already dead. No, that's cool. Yeah, no, that's cool. But I have some really bad news. I couldn't beat him. The only chance I would have to attack him was when he would try smashing his hand down, but even this was extremely hard to pull off without experiencing what a nail feels like. Unfortunately, I'm not gamer enough to do this consistently, so I'm sorry. I know it seems like a cop-out, but I was at a roadblock and getting frustrated trying to get some good RNG to attempt taking him down. Not to mention getting pissed off every time I got shit on by this fucker running back. Unfortunately, the bad news doesn't stop there, as I wasn't able to take down Calamite either, though for a completely different reason. Callie is nowhere near as fast as Manning, and in fact, leaves plenty of openings to get cast off. But as you can see, Callie is a tad resistant to it. So I was trying to think of some clever way to say this, but I'm just going to be straight with you. I was running out of steam. While I think I might have been able to pull it off using both Dusk and the red tier stone ring, but I'm grumpy and I still want to save a bit of my sanity. So no. And now it's time for the most devastating news of all. The 4 kings are impossible, but not from a lack of trying, damn it. Sure, I can take 1 or 2 down, but even with all damage boosting gear and max intelligence, I legitimately don't even think it's mathematically possible due to their fucking ridiculous health to 9600. Yep, that's something. So, quite reluctantly, I realize I can't finish them off. That also means I can't open the door to Gwen either, or finish the run. Damn it, that was so close too. Were the gods right? Should I have been left to my cursed fate for not placing my faith in them? Abandoned? Hairless? No. I just need better cheese. Wait, what? Despite being broken, faithless, and shameless at this point, I still intend to finish this run, damn it. There's only one obstacle left standing in my way. This damn door! Well, 2 if you count Gwen, but eh. If the game wants to break me, then why don't I just break the game as well? So I start off by resting at the bonfire right before the door and warp to Firelink. Then, right as the screen loads in, I force quit out of the game to my PS5's home screen. Then, once I start up and load back in, I'm now way past the door, letting me skip the need for 4 kings. Yeah. So for those of you confused, when I quit out after warping to Firelink, the game knows I have moved and needs to place me somewhere, so it breaks and moves me to the difference between the 2 warps past the door. And while I have to perform the skip every time I die or run out of cast, it's still less annoying than not being able to complete the run. So now there's only one thing left to do. To finish off the most hollow and faithless of the gods. Hey there, it's Cody from the edit here. While you enjoy this montage of me attempting to find an opening to cast a spell and avoid my face melting, I just wanted to remind you that you can watch other ridiculous challenges like this. Who knows? I might even have a weirder way to beat the game than what you've seen so far. So if you have enjoyed this video, I'd also suggest you subscribe to me here. Now, where were we? Alright, erasing the final object of my suffering for this run. With the mightiest of the gods vanquished, I'm finally free to cast off my faith completely and lead those who have also shaken the cruel shackles of the gods into my dark fold. The cutscene plays out, and I have beaten Dark Souls 1 with miracles only, and Faithless.
Our Lord hath returned.